Aerobic exercise and belly fat. Traditionally, exercise programs to promote fat loss have consisted of steady-state, moderate-intensity activities such as walking, jogging, or swimming for at least 45 minutes per session. The rationale for this is that individuals burn more fat as fuel during moderate-intensity exercise and should lose more body fat as a result. Disappointingly, many studies have shown that this form of exercise brings about little total body fat loss unless the individual engages in extremely high volumes of aerobic exercise. Likewise, although regular aerobic exercise can affect belly fat loss, you have to do a lot of it. For example, researchers at Duke University compared sedentary adults with other volunteers who exercised at light or hard intensity. Results showed that the sedentary people gained about 9% of belly fat in 6 months, whereas adults who walked or jogged about 12.4 miles a week put on no belly fat. Those who jogged only about 18.6 miles a week lost both belly fat and subcutaneous fat, but their muscle mass was unchanged. A greater amount of belly fat, 18%, was lost by overweight men and women who carried out a 14-week aerobic exercise program that involved exercising for 60-minute sessions 5 days per week. Again, their muscle mass remained unchanged. A summary of results of the aerobic exercise studies in this area found that, to reduce belly fat, a person had to work out at least 30 minutes per day, and preferably up to 60 minutes per day, for at least 14 weeks. Thus, there is evidence to suggest that aerobic exercise for at least 45 minutes per day, 5 days per week, for 14 weeks can produce roughly 18% decrease in belly fat without a change in muscle mass. But the reality is that most people do not have the time or the motivation to engage in over 5 hours of exercise a week. Hence the need to find a form of exercise that results in a significant decrease in belly fat while maintaining or increasing muscle mass, and yet is time efficient. Interval sprinting meets all 3 criteria. Resistance exercise and belly fat. Strength training, or resistance training, that is, exercising with weights, may also help reduce belly fat accumulation in some individuals. Researchers from the University of Pennsylvania monitored overweight and obese premenopausal women over a 2-year period. In comparison to women who did not exercise, participants who performed an hour of weight training twice a week decreased their total body fat by about 4%. However, while they did not record an increase in belly fat, the amount of belly fat was not reduced. 2 other studies of older men and women demonstrated that 3 moderately hard weekly weight training sessions for 12 weeks resulted in little change in total body fat, but decreased belly fat substantially. However, far more studies found no effect of resistance exercise on belly fat. A 2012 meta-analysis by one group of researchers reviewed the results of 35 well-controlled studies investigating the influence of resistance exercise on belly fat, and concluded that it failed to induce significant reductions. A randomized controlled trial is a type of scientific study and is the gold standard in medical research. The key feature of a randomized controlled trial is that subjects to be studied are randomly allocated to receive one or other of the different treatments under examination. The weight training protocols used in these studies typically involved around 8 different exercises, with 8 to 10 repetitions apiece, repeated 3 times each exercise. The individual exercises work the muscles of the upper arms, the abdomen, and the legs. This type of protocol was generally performed 2 to 3 times per week. During a typical 60-minute weight training session, the actual time spent lifting weights is about 8 to 10 minutes. Thus, it is likely that lifting weights at a moderate intensity for 8 minutes, 3 times per week, will not yield significant decreases in body fat or belly fat. What is interval sprinting? Interval sprinting protocols typically involve repeated sprinting or hard exercise at near all-out intensity.